Once upon a time, in the heart of the East, there lived a wise old sage, renowned for his profound understanding of human emotions. People from far and wide sought his guidance on finding inner peace and happiness. One day, a troubled young man approached him with a worried expression on his face. He confessed, "I am consumed by fear. I am afraid of the future, of what lies ahead. I am afraid of the unknown and things beyond my control." The sage attentively listened to the young man's concerns and replied, "Fear is like a cloud that obscures the sun, preventing us from perceiving the beauty and light in the world. However, fear has its roots, and if we can comprehend its origins, we can overcome it." Intrigued, the young man implored the sage to elaborate further. The sage began telling him a story. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a man who was exceedingly poor. He toiled diligently every day just to make ends meet. One day, he heard that a wealthy man was coming to the village to offer money to the poor. Filled with hope, the man hurried to the village square to await the arrival of the wealthy benefactor. As the wealthy man arrived, he noticed the poor man and stopped to speak with him. Overwhelmed by fear, the poor man found himself unable to utter a word. Curious, the wealthy man inquired about the cause of his fear. The poor man replied, "I am afraid that you will not give me any money. I fear being left with nothing. I will provide you with what you need." And with those words, he handed the poor man a bag brimming with gold coins. Overjoyed, the poor man profusely thanked the generous benefactor. However, as the poor man walked away, he suddenly realized that he had left his own bag of coins behind. Filled with apprehension, he rushed back to the wealthy man and pleaded, "Please take this bag of coins. I don't need it." The wealthy man replied, "Keep it, my friend. You will need it in the future." But the poor man, gripped by fear of losing the bag of coins, adamantly refused to take it. Years passed, and the poor man's circumstances changed dramatically. He became incredibly wealthy, acquiring everything he could ever desire. Yet, despite his newfound prosperity, fear continued to haunt him. He lived in constant dread of losing everything he had worked so hard for, fearful of the uncertain future and the unknown. Eventually, he realized that his fear had its roots in the bag of coins he had left behind. Perplexed, the young man asked the sage to explain this connection. The sage responded, "The bag of coins symbolized a man's attachment to material possessions. His fear was rooted in the belief that he could not be happy without those possessions. However, true happiness is not found in external things, but within ourselves, in our own hearts and minds." The young man grasped the sage's words, realizing that his own fear was rooted in his attachment to things he could not control. He learned that genuine happiness stems from within, and that fear is merely an illusion that obstructs our experience of that happiness. The sage smiled and shared, "Fear is like a dark room. When you open the curtains, light floods in, and darkness dissipates. Similarly, when we understand the root of our fear and release our attachments, we open ourselves to the radiant light of inner peace and happiness." Filled with newfound clarity and ease, the young man departed from the sage's abode. He felt lighter than he had in a long time, acknowledging that fear had held him back from embracing life to the fullest. Now, he was ready to confront his fears, understanding that fear is a natural human emotion. It emerges in response to the unknown or potential harm. Nevertheless, fear can hinder our progress and prevent us from realizing our true potential and living a truly fulfilling life. The young man recognized the importance of dealing with fear and not allowing it to control him. He understood that acknowledging fear is the first step towards overcoming it. By identifying the object of fear and understanding the underlying reasons behind it, one can take decisive action to address it. Furthermore, the young man learned the power of mindfulness in dealing with fear. Practicing mindfulness enables us to remain present, Reducing anxiety and fear by focusing on the present moment. We diminish fear's grip on our lives. Taking action towards our fears is also essential sometimes. The most effective way to overcome fear is to confront it directly. By taking small steps toward our fears, we gradually build confidence and resilience throughout life. There are countless situations that may evoke fear, such as losing a job or facing a new challenge. However, the story of the poor man and the sage's wisdom remind us that fear can be understood, addressed, and ultimately overcome. True happiness awaits those who are willing to confront their fears, let go of attachments, and embrace the boundless possibilities that lie beyond the grip of fear.